Here's your news for May 30th, 2020. And your headlines include: crazed WWE stalker shows up at Performance Center, SmackDown pitching to become DC Comics superhero, what does the future hold for Samoa Joe, AEW spot makes friends of Shad Gaspard uneasy, and more. We're kicking off with news from NXT, as fans haven't heard from Nigel McGuinness lately, and there's a reason why. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the former wrestler-turned-announcer was furloughed as part of the company's cost-cutting measures in April, though this means he isn't fully released. NXT never stopped production except to figure out how to shoot during the global situation, and though it's unclear when McGuinness will be back, hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. Speaking of the gold brand, NXT recently lost Matt Riddle as he made his official debut on SmackDown last night, but the King of Bros isn't the only star to be on the move. Now WrestleTalk is reporting that Dominik Dijakovic will be moving to the main roster soon, after his last NXT match took place over a month ago when he lost to Johnny Gargano. Though their report didn't note where Dijakovic will end up, he's not the only talented star that could be ready for a call-up, and time will tell whether anyone else makes the big move. From NXT to Monday Night Raw next, as former US and NXT champion Samoa Joe still hasn't returned to the ring after an injury suffered during a commercial shoot. Currently serving as a commentator on Raw, it's looking possible that the company may keep Joe in the role, as the Wrestling Observer noted that the company is considering Joe to be a permanent replacement to Jerry Lawler. They added, "What that means, if and when he's clear, is that he may have the role where he announces and they can shoot angles for him to wrestle using that, since those kind of angles usually do well." It's been previously reported that WWE saw Joe as too valuable in the ring to lose, and while that still may be the case, it's clear that the company also likes him on commentary. If Joe is able to move past his current concussion issues, then the company could certainly do with him wrestling again. But for now, it appears that the Samoan Submission Machine has a new spot in WWE that will get his voice much more TV time. From Raw to SmackDown next, as more details have emerged on the new details of Drew Gulak's contract. As previously reported, Gulak and WWE parted ways after the two parties couldn't agree to a new deal. But not only is he back, but the former Cruiserweight champion is here to stay. It's now being reported that Gulak has signed a multi-year contract with WWE, and though we don't know how long he'll be back for exactly, WWE contracts are usually for 3 to 5 years. It was also noted that the WWE wasn't the only company with an eye on a popular superstar, as it was reported, "During the week, some people we know had tried to contact him for dates and he turned people down, and the word going around was that he clearly had a destination." It's no secret that Gulak received quite the push before his release as part of a tag team with Daniel Bryan, and now fans can expect many more competitive matches from the former Cruiserweight champion. We've got news next of Armando Alejandro Montalvo, and no, he isn't the former manager of Umaga, but is actually known as the WWE Performance Center stalker. After multiple unwarranted appearances at the center, WWE were granted a permanent injunction in March 2019, but that didn't stop Montalvo from appearing on WWE property on April 13th this year, which, to the company's knowledge, was his first appearance back. WWE filed a suit against Montalvo a week later, and court documents have revealed some first-hand accounts of what happened when Montalvo appeared during a Raw taping, courtesy of the center's director of security. It reads, "He witnessed defendant was present in or around the WWE Performance Center. More specifically, defendant was across the street from the WWE Performance Center, pacing back and forth and holding what appeared to be a large wooden cross approximately 4 feet high. After remaining near the premises for approximately 1 hour, defendant left without incident." Clearly not the sharpest tool in the box, Montalvo decided to record his antics with the cross and stream it on social media, so that everybody could see that he was in violation of the injunction. Court documents also revealed the lengths WWE has gone to deal with Montalvo, as his behavior is described as aggressive, harassing, and erratic. It reads, "Plaintiff has continued to employ off-duty officers from the Orange County Sheriff's Office as security personnel in an effort to ensure the safety of its property and employees." On the evening that Montalvo received these court documents, he still went back to WWE's property during a SmackDown taping, and went with his own declaration that he planned to hand to Vince McMahon. Titled the Declaration of Defecation, Montalvo claimed he had the right to poop wherever he wants, and he has the constitutional right to take a dump in peace. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work, and though he tried to hand the form to security, that didn't work, and he left without incident. This isn't even the first time Montalvo has been driven by his bowel movements, as he smeared his own feces on the Performance Center wall in 2015, which led to a 2018 restraining order. In the past, one way WWE's security was forced to deal with him is by shooting Montalvo outside the PC in 2015, something the company doesn't want to have to do again. There are now calls for Montalvo to be held in civil contempt of court for violating the protection order, and hopefully justice will be served on June 1st when he has a hearing. We've got news from the death of Shad Gaspard next, as the wrestling world continues to mourn the death of the former superstar and real-life hero. It's known that Shad was pulled underwater before he went missing, which is a terrible way to go, and some saw similarities with his final moments and a spot that took place at Double or Nothing. During the Stadium Stampede, it seems like Matt Hardy had drowned, leading to his lifeless body being resurrected, as he claimed he had to hold his breath for a very long time. Whilst this was a comedy bit, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that friends of Shad were uneasy about it, and had contacted the newsletter themselves to reveal this. Though Matt has since addressed the spot, he didn't speak about the controversy, but we don't believe he'd mean to offend people by it, because that's not who Hardy is on or off screen. Shad's death was a tragedy that the wrestling world will never forget, and it seems like the Double or Nothing spot was just an incredibly unfortunate coincidence that AEW can learn from going forward. We're looking at a different group of people who fight wearing tights now, as CW's Batwoman recently lost its lead star after Ruby Rose quit the show. Since her departure though, there's been plenty of names who said they'd be interested in taking up the role as Kate Kane, including SmackDown superstar Sonya Deville. According to the Wrestling Observer, the company Anderson Group Public Relations, which represents Deville, is pushing for the SmackDown star to be in the running for the role of Batwoman herself. There's certainly a lot of similarities between Sonya and the DC Comics character, as both women are known for their fighting and badass attitudes, and both are also openly lesbian. Time will tell just how far Deville gets, as there's been plenty of big stars rumored for the role, but it may just be a matter of time before the former MMA fighter trades in the Squared Circle and SmackDown for batarangs and bad guys. Back to the ring now, and this week's NXT didn't just see a unique cage fight between Timothy Thatcher and Matt Riddle, but it was also officiated by Kurt Angle. Despite being released as part of April's cost-cutting measures, Angle was used in a guest referee role, and though this has led to speculation that he's back with the company, that isn't the case. In The Observer, Dave Meltzer noted that he hasn't heard anything about a new deal for the Olympic gold medalist, and that Kurt will be paid until mid-July like every other released superstar. Meltzer added that the current plan is to use certain released superstars during their 90-day no-compete clause, such as Drake Maverick, who won his triple threat match on this week's show, and will face El Hijo del Fantasma next week to crown the interim NXT champion. While there may be a time that Kurt and Maverick are signed to new deals, that doesn't seem to be the case for now, as the company is merely using the stars they can, whilst their 90-day no-compete clauses are still in effect. From one former WWE champion to another now, as Ric Flair and WWE have finally come to terms over the rights to the Man. Last year, the 16-time world champion engaged in a legal dispute with the company, as he claimed he owned the rights to be referenced as the Man, not Becky Lynch, and should be paid accordingly for it. Now this dispute is finished, as it's now been revealed that Flair has sold all rights to the term that he registered in August last year to WWE. It's certainly interesting that Flair has sold his ownership to the term The Man recently, as the dirtiest player in the game also signed a new deal with WWE, promising he'll stay with Vince McMahon's promotion forever. Whether Flair's trademark was impacted by his new deal is unclear, but now there's only one true man in WWE, though she's currently out of action to become the Mom. Over to AEW now, and though it shouldn't be too surprising that Jim Cornette hated the Stadium Stampede match, referring to it as the death of wrestling, one person who was very proud of the match is Chris Jericho. While speaking on Busted Open Radio, the former AEW World Champion said the Double or Nothing match was one of the best things he's ever done, and responded to Cornette's comments with an over-the-top reaction of his own, as he said, If you didn't like this match, then you don't have a soul, because this is one of the most entertaining things that you can see, and if you're talking about a Jim Cornette, he booked a segment where I put his face in a cake in 1994. This is the 2020 version of sticking somebody's face in a cake. Despite Cornette's views, it's likely that AEW will be hosting Stadium Stampede matches in the future, as since other companies may not have the resources to access an NFL stadium, the Stampede could become a staple in AEW for many years to come. Back to WWE now, and recently AJ Styles was moved to SmackDown, which the Phenomenal One is more than happy with, as staying on Raw reminded him too much of his now-released Good Brothers. Speaking on After the Bell, the former WWE Champion opened up about the release of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, saying that it really hurt him, and that moving to the Blue brand, where he's had so much of his WWE success, will help him greatly. It was Styles who brought Gallows and Anderson to the WWE in the first place, and added, "When they got released, I immediately feel responsible for them because I helped them get here and I wanted them to stay. I feel like if I had encouraged them to stay, maybe they would be fine right now. So a lot of that fell on me." Styles also referenced the Mixer stream he gave the day after the club was released, where he described Gallows and Anderson as like his little brothers who he failed to protect. Time will tell what the future holds for Gallows and Anderson, as they recently registered their Southpaw Regional Wrestling trademarks, so it's likely they'll be having a lot of fun playing these characters until their non-compete clauses expire in mid-July. And we're ending today with news from Friday Night SmackDown, as this week's show kicked off in a shocking way. For those of you who missed it, a car was crashed into Elias's car, which led to the driver fleeing the scene, and it was later discovered to be Jeff Hardy, who was hidden in the bushes and smelled like alcohol. Of course, this plays into Hardy's past of substance abuse issues, and while it's possible this angle will reveal that Jeff has been framed by Sheamus, many wrestling personalities have commented on the matter. CM Punk, who is no stranger to Jeff's past, admitted to finding the segment rather hilarious, as he said that the cop who was calling out Jeff's name sounded like he was calling bingo numbers. Jeff's brother Matt also took to Twitter following Jeff's on-screen arrest, and though he didn't specifically address what happened on SmackDown, he did say he's happy to be working at AEW. Though Punk and Matt had very different responses, many fans have reacted negatively to what was shown, as they're clearly not on board with WWE's referencing Hardy's history of substance abuse issues. Whether fans loved or hated the segment, it clearly got fans talking and proved to be an explosive start to Friday Night SmackDown.